get straight into it. Coming into this particular fixture, I remember you did say that it was halftime when you finished the first fixture in Morocco. Your thoughts ahead of the upcoming fixture. Colleagues, if I may ask that we please switch off our cell phones or put them on silent. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, first let me start by greeting all the members of the media. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We know how difficult this game is. Of course, it's a continental final and it's the second leg. We were clear to say it's the second half of the match. And we are also understanding that it's our first, as I said already to you guys, our first final in 7 years since 2016 against a team that's played the last 2 Champions League finals and won one. They've been in the last 7 semi-finals, in the last 8 Champions League semi-finals. So it's a team with experience of playing these type of games and high-profile games. They come to South Africa for sure with the advantage of the scoreline. But we take a lot of confidence from our performances because I think we are the second team in the last, I don't know how many years, to go to Wydad and dominate the ball. We had more ball possession than them. We had more passes than them. And so that gives us confidence in our performance that we know we can play better and we can play better in front of our crowd and we will play better in front of our people. But we know how difficult the assignment is and we're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, Coach. Shishi, from your end, just from a player's perspective, approaching this particular game, your thoughts ahead of Sunday's match?
Yeah, greeting to everyone. Yeah, no, definitely it's going to be a tough game. Obviously, it's a tough game because 2 teams that are good are playing each other. And yeah, for us as a team, we're looking forward to the game. We know what to expect and we know what to do. And obviously, we need to play well in front of our supporters. And we know that with their support, that's where we play our beautiful football and try to win the game.
Thank you, Mshishi. Your opportunity to ask questions, members of the media, if you could raise your hand, identify yourself as well as your publication. I saw Kamu's hand first.
Kamu was the last hand.
Thank you for your time today, Coach.
Thanks,
Kamugelo for kickoff. Coach, before the game, I just wanted to touch on your previous pre-match press conference. We saw you be quite, I don't know if aggressive is the right word to use when you were speaking to the Egyptian media when they asked about the complaints and stuff. Yes, it was very well thought out, very methodical. I just wanted to ask if you approach your pre-match press conferences the same way you do your matches, in the sense that, you know, it's well thought out and then methodical in the sense like you know what you're going to say, and yeah, things of that nature.
Yeah, the one thing I try is there's an old adage, and I got it. I shared it with the players. I get it from listening to all these people, and I think it's one of Oprah Winfrey's, or maybe even Cristiano Ronaldo, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a very famous adage that says, "Luck is when preparation meets opportunity." And so I always just try to prepare myself for everything that I know I have to do. So I know I have to deliver a team talk to my players, so I prepare for that. I know that I have to deliver a training session, so I prepare myself for that. I watch the games, I watch the sessions, I watch and make sure that I'm prepared. I know I'm going to have to sit in front of the press, and so I prepare myself for that, and that's what I try to do. I'm not always in that space, of course, because sometimes the questions in the pressers are a little bit different to what you prepare, and then you've got to think a little bit on your toes. But that's like the football match, you know. Sometimes the game plan doesn't go exactly the way you guys had thought it would, and then you've got to come up with solutions. And this Champions competition, the AFL has shown us how many times against Pedro we had at halftime we had to switch and change and find solutions. Against Al Ahly we had to switch and find solutions. So I expect the same even for tomorrow's match for sure.
Afternoon, Coach.
Afternoon.
Thokoze C from Far Post. Coach, you've had a
Sean
few
Thobo.
days with Peter Shalulile
Yeah.
and Lucas. How are they looking? Any chance of seeing them on Sunday? And maybe an update in terms of injuries?
No, well, you see that the thing is, it's too early for me to say anything because I've still got another training session tomorrow. So it's too early to say, you know. The medical department is doing such an amazing job, but of course players respond differently to the recovery protocols, and we just have to be a little bit more patient. We'll see. I think I've got one more training session tomorrow to have a look and to see, and then I think together with the rest of the technical staff we'll make a decision. But I think the list is still the same. It's still the same players that were out injured. They still at the same stages of their rehabilitation as we went into the first leg.
Coach, well done on getting this far, Coach.
Thanks, so.
The coach that came before you now, he was saying he likes playing against you because it's football against football. But because they're leading 2-1 in their way, how do you expect them to play on Sunday? And how different is this Wydad team from the one you faced last season in the Champions League because they've got a new coach? Can I ask the captain also? And just for the captain, we've just had an injury update now. Captain, you've sacrificed yourself in this tournament, playing maybe where the strikers have been playing. How do you feel about that, and how has the adjustment been for you?
Yeah, no, it's been difficult, but obviously I need to respect the coach's decision and try to help the team. That's my duty. And yeah, with the help of the guys, I was trying to push myself, and the guys, they were always supporting me. And yeah, for me, it's all about the team.
I don't know if you mind if I piggyback on that question. And I think Themba Zwane has come under a lot of undue criticism for the performances, and in my opinion, I think he's been fantastic. You know, I'm asking a 34-year-old to play in a different orientation. So imagine for the last 10, 15 years, he's playing as a 10. At 10, his orientation of the pitch is this way towards goal. And now all of a sudden the coach says, hey, I need you to play as a 9. So his orientation, his back is towards the goal. And for a player of his magnitude and his stature, the leader, the profile, to humbly accept to play in a different position and to be asked to do different things that he normally wouldn't do, shows the amount of humility, but also shows you the character. You know, now you probably understand why over the last, what is it, 12, 13, maybe 14 years, he's been one of the best players in South African football, you know, because of his human qualities. And I think he's been amazing. I think he's really he's run his legs off. He's helped with certain defensive organizational schemes that we set up. He's helped with certain movements also to try to create space and try to create situations where we can develop chances. And of course, it's not his position, and so he's not going to be a specialist in that area. But because he's intelligent enough, he can navigate and find himself in situations. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for Mshishi, because not only is he a demonstration that you've got to be a top human being to be a top footballer, but he's also demonstrating that you don't have to be loud and aggressive to be a leader. You can lead through practically demonstrating by performance, by effort, and by being a positive influence on not only your age group, but even with the younger ones. You must see how he interacts with Mabena, and he interacts with Maseko, and his influence on Cassius last season. A lot of people thought I helped Cassius improve. Mshishi helped Cassius improve more than I did. Mshishi has helped Peter improve more than I have. I can tell you that 100%. So, an amazing human being, and I really think that some of the criticism has been extremely unfair, you know. But that's football, you know. Football, everybody is entitled to their opinion, and that's just my opinion on Mshishi's performance. On the question, football versus football, yeah, I think the first leg was a very, very good game. I think the profile of our team is slightly different. We try to win away from home, as opposed to maybe in the past, where as Mamelodi Sundowns we try to go with a damage limitation type of approach. And I thought we were quite unlucky with the result, because I thought first half, apart from the own goal, I didn't really feel that we could concede, and we had a lot of control. Okay, they scored the goal from a mistake, and a mistake, not the own goal. That happens in football, but there was a structural mistake that happened, and we've analyzed, we've spoken about it. But I thought we were really, really in control in a very difficult space. The atmosphere, it's very difficult there. It's probably, I can say to you, it's probably for me, with the experience a little bit now of Champions League, I would say that going to play against TP Mazembe, going to Casablanca, and going to Cairo are three of the most difficult places to go to, because you feel, and Casablanca is probably number one in my opinion, and tied very closely with Congo. But for the players to perform the way they performed, and that second half where we put Wydad under a lot of pressure, and then to get the equalizer, then there's a little bit of a disappointment to concede 4 minutes later, you know, after working so hard, and again also from a mistake that we made. So yeah, I thought we were good enough for at least a draw, in my opinion. And but okay, it's football. Now we have to take the 2-1 and try to find the possibilities of dealing with the game. How do I think the game is gonna go? The players know. I've told them how I think the game is gonna go. 9 times out of 10, when I tell them how the game is gonna go, 9 times out of 10, I'm right. So I'm hoping that this is one of the times that I'm right. I'm not always right. I do get them wrong sometimes. But I can't let that out. You know, the players know how I think the game is going to go from their side and from our side, and what we have to do in specific phases of the game, and what are the signs that will tell us what is about to happen. And hopefully the players understand that, and now it's for them to put on the performance.
Thanks, Themba. Good afternoon, Coach Mshika. My first question,
Kids.
Coach covered it for Shika, so I'll ask the coach. Coach, last night I was watching Sky's the Limit, and Shampo said it's easy. It's not easy to win an easy game. That was before Sundowns was gonna play Pamomaro, and I think 8 months ago, around March, you said the pressure of finding a win is the pressure that you'd rather have, the pressure to find a win. And now that you are trailing and you are in a pressure moment to find a win, as opposed to, would you rather take this pressure, or would you rather take the pressure of leading 1-0 and then trying to cement that result?
Pressure is a privilege. And I think the outlook on it is that we, of course, with being involved in football, you've always got pressure. It's worse when you're at Sundowns because the pressure is you've got to play well and you've got to win. Sometimes there is this feeling that I get that when we play well and we don't win, people are very quick to go, oh, forget the result, let's focus on the performance. And when we win, but we don't play well, people are very quick to forget the result and focus forget the performance and focus on the result. And that's the pressure at Mamelodi Sundowns. It only comes because we've set the expectation that we can play well and win. We've shown that we are capable of doing that. So it's our own fault sometimes that we are under pressure not only just to win but to play well and win. It's our own fault, and because of that, we go into every single game with that expectation and with that pressure to try to play every single game to win, but not just to win, but to win with very good performances too.
Claire Barjoles for Radio France International. I wanted to
Welcome.
thank you. I wanted to ask anyone who wants to answer, what does it mean for you to have the opportunity to maybe write the name of the Sundance on a cup that was just created for the first edition, because it's not very often such opportunity arrives?
Well, it's just a great privilege, you know. It's a great honor, number one, just to be involved in a continental final. A continental final means you've worked very, very hard. Especially this trophy was 8 of the best teams on the continent in terms of rankings and how the teams were selected to participate in this competition. And so to be in the position that we are in already to play the final is an extreme privilege and a great honor. The opportunity that it provides is not just an opportunity that we look at with a lot of gratitude and humility, but also we understand the burden and the heaviness of the responsibility that we have in representing not just our team, but also our families. We represent our country. And that's the responsibility that we have, and to carry that responsibility is something that makes us extremely proud and humbled to be given that opportunity. And for sure, I think you saw even in the first leg, the players gave everything that they could. They ran, they fought, they showed incredible character an unbelievable spirit to fight in a very, very difficult game against a very good team in a very intense and aggressive atmosphere. So we take this this opportunity, as you say, with a lot of humility and understand the privilege of being able to write, as your words, as you said, to write our names in the history books. I tell the players every day that history has no blank pages.
Lorenz?
Coach Lorenzo from Intercity.
Hi, Lawrence, and congratulations on your marriage.
Thank you, coach. Do you think that the AFL is the future of continental football in Africa, and perhaps will cast aside the Champions League slowly? And then for Shishi, if I can ask another question, are you breathing a sigh of relief knowing that Jabran won't be on the pitch tomorrow?
Obviously, Jabran is a good player, but for me, it's okay whether he's there or not there. The only thing that we focus on is the plan of the team and the mission of the team, try to win the game. That's all.
Yeah, do I think that this competition will replace the Champions League? I wish I was a very, very good, what do you call them? These fortune tellers. Yeah, no, Sangoma is, but I wish I was a very good fortune teller and I could tell you the future. But I really don't know. All I know is that this is a fantastic initiative. I think the objectives are very, very clear. I've said it so many times, and we are just privileged and honored to be part of this tournament this time around.
Squeezing the last 2 questions, coach, so that we can
Sure.
relieve you.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Afternoon, Mr. Mahlatse.
Coach, I know in the past you have repeatedly declined to shine the spotlight on yourself. I'm going to ask you to disappoint me today and put the spotlight on yourself. You are on this on a cusp of something very special here. This will be history. You will be the first coach who win this tournament. It will be. It's not quite the Champions League, but it's up there. It's a significant tournament. It will sort of increase your stocks as a coach. What will it mean to you if you were to rock up here on Sunday and put one over these guys who broke your heart the last time you saw them in the Champions League?
I'm sorry not to disappoint you. Because I think and as you say, I always say it. I say it to the players. I say it to you guys in the media. It's not like what I say to you, I don't say to the players. The game of football belongs to the players. We are just there to support and to facilitate, to help improve the players, to improve the performance of the team, and try to help the players. And so my answer to your question is, it would mean the same to me as it would mean to Shishi and the rest of the group and the entire Mamelodi Sundowns family, because I'm part of the family. I'm a mere employee of an organization that wants to win and succeed in a game of football. And so, yeah, it would mean the same to me as it would mean to the rest of our people in the team. And for sure, I think if there is a group that deserves to lift a continental trophy, because I think last season we were by far the best team in the Champions League. But you don't always get what you deserve in life. You know, life is unfair. And we all know that life happens to each and every single one of us. And so the feeling we had after the Champions League was that it was unfair for us not to even at least be in the final after such a very good run in that competition. And I think after everything that this group has done, and the growth and the development that they've made, the sacrifices and the hard work, their loyalty and honesty to each other, their sense of brotherhood, their hard work on the pitch, and the type of football that they play, I think if there is a group that deserves to have some form of continental silverware, it is this group.
We'll squeeze in the last question, Coach, and then we'll call it a day.
There's two, so we only have time for one, guys. We'll start with him on the final. with the gorgeous one.
Shit, man. You can give Carlo. He's a regular.
Only because the coach is
He comes also for Puma Mall.
Yeah.
Only because you are green, Coach.
Afternoon, Coach. Kamahalo Mokhale for YFM.
Sure.
Coach, this morning I watched the video again. You telling the team that, you got over Wydad Pedro, and now it's Wydad Casablanca. Do you still feel that it's written in the stars, or do you still feel that as much as it is written in the stars, you still need to put in the work?
Yeah. Let me explain that. When after I arrived back to Sundowns, the first Champions League exit was a quarterfinal to Al Ahly. The second season was a quarterfinal exit to Petro. And the last season, so the last three exits in the Champions League were against semi-final last year, Wydad. Previous year, Petro. Previous year before Petro, Al Ahly. And so the story written this year is we start with Petro, a rival, a team that knocked us out in the quarterfinals 3 seasons ago. And then next was Wydad, Al Ahly, a foe that knocked us out the previous season before that. And then last season was Wydad. So it just because it's written in the stars doesn't mean the stars are aligned. Our responsibility now is to align the stars. And that's the message. It's written in the stars, but you've still got to work. You've still got to look for the C that's there, the H that might be hiding behind the moon, the A that might be there but is camouflaged by a cosmetic unknown flying object in this. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And then it's your work to be able to align and find them and work very hard to align the stars. It might be written, but our work now is to make sure that we invest and we put it. It's the same thing with rain. And just because there's rain clouds doesn't mean it's gonna rain. But you've got to put in the work. It's either you start building a shelter, and yes, there are people still within our country that have to build shelters when they expect rain. Or you have to run and find shelter, or run and buy an umbrella, or run and do you see? There's still work to be done. And there's no handouts in life. You've got to work very, very, very hard for everything that you want to achieve. And that's the message the players know, and that's the message we carry every single day. We work very, very hard, I must tell you. And that's why, as I said, is one of the reasons why I feel that that's what this group deserves. They deserve to be continental champions because of the amount of work that they put in.
Last one, Karamo.
Extra time. So thank you, Coach and Shishi. Just Coach, you come from a beautiful football history, very rich in regards to what you guys have achieved in South African football. Your uncle, 3-time World 11 player, and this is a match, Coach, that I think when you look at it, as I always say, the players have got an opportunity to write their own history. Shake hands with Paradise and then just do something special and unique. Do you speak to your family members in regards to how do I handle these type of matches? I mean, your uncle has done great things. Your father as well. Do you speak to them? And lastly, Mshishi, as a senior player, what is the conversation in regards to this match from a player's perspective? I'm a player, but are they nervous? Are they excited? Just your thoughts in regards to the player's perspective.
Us as players, obviously, we're excited, because we understand the culture of the team. The culture of the team is to win trophies, try and make history. So that's the talk amongst the guys in the changing room. We just want to make history. We just want to put our names there. And that's what keeps us on going. And we're looking forward to the game.
It's very strange that you asked me this question because just a couple of days ago, just so you know, both my father and my uncle are my coaches. So whenever I see a phone ringing and it says Braje, I know it's a coaching course. When I see it says KK Sono, I know it's a coaching course. So I'm privileged that I have their experience and the work that they've done, and I can rely on them to give me a lot of advice and a lot of information about how to deal with certain things, etc., etc. And why I say it's funny is because the very same family. I was saying to my mother the other day, I said, I so wish that my late grandfather was still alive, Skara Sono, because I think I would have gotten more advice from him because of the type of role he had at Pirates, and at that time when there were no coaches, the captain was literally the coach. The captain was the guy that recruited the players. The captain was the guy that carried the cones and the balls and the things stayed at his house and he brought them to the training. That's the information I get. And I so wish sometimes I said to my mother, sometimes if God were to grant me one phone call, it would probably be either to my late grand or to my late grandfather. It's actually the discussion I had. But It's not about me. I'm also privileged enough that I sit in a position where I can rely, number one, heavily on not just my family to give me support, but I can rely on the experience and the quality of a technical team that's got a coach Magnova, a coach Wendell, a coach Michael, and they have incredible experience in African competitions, great expertise in football, and provoke my thinking. We've got an unbelievable group of analysts with Gulam, with Sbu, with Dale, and Mario. These people work tirelessly to give the players so much support. And the rest of the technical staff with the people that are working with the players, the biokineticists, the physios, and the rest of the departments, from the kit managers, the communication managers. You know, we've got a very extensive technical team, and therefore it would be extremely selfish of me to only think about myself in these moments. This is a team achievement. It is an opportunity for the entire team and for everybody involved in this football club, and that should be the focus, and not to focus on myself, but to focus more on how can I help and play my part. And even if it's just 5% or 2%, how can I give 100% of my 5% in helping this group win the final on Sunday?
Coach, thank you very much for your time. Shishi, thank you as well. We wish you all the best in tomorrow's fixture.
Thank you very
Members
much.
of the media, that brings us to the conclusion. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.